one bag of gold medal pan me now. Red stripe alone champion boy go. Pan a pour them a sing anthem too. Red stripe, watch out, watch out, watch out. Man shall I better forward boy. Red stripe Premier League champion boy score. Every goal winner run from boy. Red stripe Premier League champion boy now. Back down we run him marathon boy. The red stripe Premier League champion boy. Yeah, yeah.
This is Red Stripe Football Mondays, and we're in the community of Harborview. It's on Jamaica's south coast. We're just a couple of 100 meters away from the sea, and Harborview are getting ready here to try to turn their form around. They're second from bottom of the table at the moment in 11th position, and trying to recover from a very, very bad start to the championship. Their fans are out in their numbers. Arnett Gardens, the traveling team, also usually traveling with a big entourage as well. Odette Hamilton, she has the whistle tonight, and her officials assisting her as the players are getting ready to take the field here at Harborview. Four-time champions of the Premier League Harborview, their last title in 2013. Arnett Gardens have been champions 5 times, twice in the last 4 years, Arnett Gardens. So they're a pretty hot team, Arnett Gardens, at the moment. They have not lost to Harborview since the 16th of March 2016, so that makes it 2.5 years since they've been having good results here against this Harborview team. Harborview looking for a good result tonight. Pretty cool night and a pretty steady breeze as well. Arnett Gardens in red and black traditionally, and the Harborview in their gold outfit with some blue trimmings, and just ahead of the national anthem and the introductions, then the kickoff here on Sportsmax. Ready now for the national anthem. These Harborview players looking very, very focused. Their coach, Ricardo Bibi Gardner, has tasked them with the job of turning their form around. They've been pretty poor since the start of the season. 15 goals they've conceded. Only Dunbeholden have conceded more goals than they have, and they have only scored 7 goals. Only Reno have scored fewer goals than they have. So Harborview statistically in a spot of bother here and needing to turn their form around.
And just 2 wins in 10 matches, so that just expresses it. And a club that have set the benchmark for so many other clubs in the Jamaican Premier League over the years. Of course, the first club to be incorporated. That was back in 1999. First club to really build this world-class stadium here in Jamaica and so on. So a lot of firsts for them. Yeah, certainly struggling at the moment.
Odette Hamilton has the whistle tonight. OJ Doheny and Damien Williams are assistants. And Andre Farquharson is the 4th official. The 2 captains, Nicholas Beckett from Harborview and Marvin Morgan from Arnett Gardens. And the match officials in a huddle and getting ready to go through this assignment tonight. The Harborview starting roster: William Price in goal, Darius Stewart, Johnny Talbot, Nicholas Beckett, the former captain Timar Lewis, the young former one-row player Kimar Bennett, Mark Alves, Richard Anderson, Peter Lee Vassell, Deshane Beckford and Bebeto, McDonald, pretty solid starting roster here for Harborview.
And they'll shape up in a 4-3-3 formation. And there you see Bebeto McDonald will actually be the man up front, former Charlie Smith boy, and expect a lot from him. Hasn't really lived up to the expectation so far, but there you see the Deshane Beckford coming in behind him, and of course the creativity of Peter Lee Vassell, the key to their attack.
Yes, the Arnett Gardens roster without Jamil Hardware and Vishanal Harris tonight, two exciting midfielders who are both bothered by injury. Harris with a hamstring strain and Hardware with a groin problem, which actually kept him out of the Jamaica International against Suriname on Sunday. Damien Hart in goal, Ramon McGregor, Jabber Johnson, Ranike Anderson, Tamar Edwards, Lamar Neal, Marvin Morgan, who wears the captain's armband, Lamar Nelson, back from injury, Javoni Sims, Fabian Reid and Lennox Russell at the front.
And when Jerome Waite is around, expect a 3-4-3. And that's exactly how Arnett Gardens will shape up. Look out for Lamar Nelson, as we say, scored the goal in their last game against Reno, the win, the 1-0 victory. And of course, Lennox Russell, we spoke about him as a player to watch. And Fabian Reid, their main marksman up front. He will be giving the Harborview defense a lot to think about.
So there's the Arnett Gardens team now in a huddle. Arnett Gardens currently 4th in the table. They will go 2nd with a win tonight, within a point of the leaders, Portmore. They're one of the highest scoring teams in the league at the moment, 13 goals after 10 rounds. Only Portmore with 14 had scored more than they have. Conversely, Harborview in real trouble among the lowest scoring teams in the league at the moment with the 7 goals so far. Reno with 5, the only team to have scored fewer goals than they have. Harborview have scored just 1 goal in their last 3 matches. Arnett Gardens have scored 4 in their last 2. So the form line definitely favouring Arnett Gardens here. Not to mention, as we mentioned before, Chris, the head-to-head situation where Harborview haven't seen a victory against Arnett since March 2016.
1 in 10.
1 in their last 10 meetings. 8 victories for Arnett Gardens. So it's
one
not even
draw
that,
and a loss.
yeah, not even that they've had a lot of drawn results. There's been predominantly Arnett Gardens victories.
Right. The one victory they had was emphatic though, 3-0.
Yes, it was. Beckett, the former Harborview captain, no nonsense, bangs the ball away. Harborview, Darius Stewart at right, full back for them tonight. There's Ricardo Gardner, former Bolton Wanderers standout. Played about 12 years of football for Bolton Wanderers after being bought after the 1998 historic World Cup appearance for Jamaica.
And that was another first that we spoke about with Harborview as a club. First Jamaican-based player to be selected by a top European club or into the European leagues. Ricardo Gardner at 18.
Jerome Waite, coach of Arnett Gardens, returning to the Arnett Gardens setup here. Neal tries to get the ball inside. And that's Stewart there making the block. Waite back in charge at Arnett Gardens after some time off, was on the coaching staff for the Jamaica under-20s at the CONCACAF tournament. And then as assistant coach was with the Reggae Boys, conditioning them last week for yesterday's CONCACAF Nations League match against Suriname. So he's back in charge of Arnett Gardens now for the first time in almost a month.
And he's been enjoying a lot of success based on what you've just described with the national program.
Yeah.
They, in under 20, won all their games except one that they drew, and yesterday they won as well. So he'd be very confident himself.
Yeah. Deshane Beckford just manhandled there by Ranike Anderson. Good passing here by Arnett. Russell. Harborview finally getting the ball away. Neal under pressure. Javor Johnson putting the challenge on there. Very solid player, Javor Johnson, the 27-year-old former Dunoon player. A rock-like figure in the Arnett defense. That's a foul. Anderson fouled, or committing the foul. Free kick That's Neil with a free kick for Arnett. Edwards. Russell. Multiple step overs from the Arnett number 3. Good defensive work though. There's William Price in the Harborview goal, former Constant Spring goalkeeper. Went to St. George's College in his school days.
Facially still looks like he should be in high school.
That's Anderson getting the clearance away for Harborview. Good skill there by Lamar Nelson. Oh, the cross inside has some danger, but Stewart gets the ball away. McDonald goes wide to Beckford. McGregor putting the chase on. Oh, again, Beckford, pretty diminutive player, finds himself manhandled by the Arnett defender McGregor. Before that, it was Ranike Anderson who roughed him up. The challenge here, fight for the ball, but the superior strength and physical superiority of McGregor winning the battle. Harborview with his free kick, Kamar Bennett. Did have 4 goals for Harborview 2 seasons ago. Bennett, not so prolific last year and so far this year. Low into the box. Too sure what the thinking was behind that strike.
In fact, only one Harborview players had more than 1 goal this season. That's Mark Alves with 2. So it's, as you say, it's been a struggle. Only 7 goals.
Bennett just putting the block there on the Marvin Morgan attempted clearance of field or pass up field. Pretty quiet start to the match, and fans not yet excited.
And as I said, Harborview a young team. A lot of the players just coming out of high school within the last year or 2, and I think that's the biggest change, the physicality of in the Premier League playing against the adult man, and that's the adjustment that has to be made. That's not as easy as it looks.
He tries to turn his man. Bennett comes charging back, gives up a corner. Not too happy there though. Wonder who's number 1 now. It's Fabian Reed, player of the year last season. So Johnny Talbot.
20 goals in 37 games in the last 2 seasons.
Vassell coming back and getting some good defensive work in. Ball just squeezing away from Anderson, but does win a throw. The Harborview number 12. Bennett. Vassell. Well read by Neil. Sims. Challenged by Stewart. And the high press Harborview game just keeping Arnett Gardens in their own half at the moment. Neil doesn't like his forward passing options, so goes back home. Johnson. Anderson getting in the way. Morgan. Being hustled here by Alves. Russell. Morgan. Anderson. Edwards. Good tackling here by Harborview, just pressing these Arnett players, ensuring that they don't get too comfortable in midfield. Beckford trying to prevent Anderson from getting the early throw off. Lots of thirsty fans in the stands. Pretty sure they'll be making their purchases soon. Of course, Red Stripe does have...
Are you a fan of the sorrel?
Yes, I like sorrel. Morgan trying to turn his man, but really good tackling here by Harborview that we've seen so far. Their game plan obviously is not to allow Arnett Gardens too much comfort on the ball.
And based on your threat of attacking players, that's not a bad ploy. You notice as soon as the ball is played into Fabian Reid, he's double teamed.
Yeah. Stewart a little careless there, allows the ball to run over the touchline for a throw. Pretty strong challenge there from Alves. Okay, so tempers flaring there because Lamar Nelson not liking the challenge on him. Of course, he'll be a player that will not take kindly to strong aggressive challenges because he did have a career-threatening knee injury 5 or 6 years ago, so he may be a little intolerant of people roughing him up.
Yeah, definitely.
High-quality player Nelson scored the 89th minute winner to beat Mount Pleasant last week. A lot of fans happy to see him back in competitive football. Price looking intent in the Harborview goal. Sims's cross headed out. Effort on goal there seemed to have been from Neil. High over the top though. Going up for the header there. And there's your Arnett Gardens bench. Pretty solid bench here. You see players like Clark and Oldham there waiting in the wings for an opportunity tonight.
Zelana Barnes on the bench as well. Number 31, former St. George's standout, national under 20 as well. He's played overseas in Spain. Went to Toronto as well for a stint. Zelana Barnes, very talented left-footed player, scored in the final of the 2012 Manning Cup for St. George's.
Bennett forward to Alves. Alves doesn't get a proper left-footed shot off. Morgan. Russell. Beckett gives up the throw. Oh, there are some dancers on the Harborview bench.
Sean Fraser taking it easy.
Yeah.
But some 35 years of age now, Sean Fraser. You've seen a lot.
Right, and Chris Harvey, 36 years old, has a hamstring injury, so he's not on the starting roster tonight as well.
Yeah.
Very, very troubling times here for Harborview. They were the best defensive team in the league last year, conceded only 22 goals from their 33 matches, and were the best defensive team regular season. So to see them giving up 15 goals from just 10 matches
games
so far, and being the second worst team defensively in the league, must be very troubling for Ricardo Gardner.
Well, as you said, just not the kind of stats you align with Harborview.
Yeah.
FC. Johan Weatherly on the bench as well, son of Dr. Dean Weatherly, very speedy player. I'm sure at some point we'll see him this evening.
Yeah, we will. I think so. Johnson getting in the way for Arnett. Neal. Edwards. Nelson. And the ball goes wide now to Lennox Russell. Testing pass there to Morgan and doesn't get to him. Don't think this man was too pleased with that Lennox Russell pass. He acknowledged in the pre-game show that Arnett are favourites to win this match because of their current form. And here they are with Reid. The cutback here. And Sims with a right-footed effort. That's poor.
Very poor. Ball a little bit too behind Sims, to be honest, from Reid. Running the lines well, Reid. You see how he gets here. Look at the cutback here. A little bit behind Sims, so he almost had to overcompensate in terms of how he repositioned himself. So difficult to wrap the foot around, and a hard bounce as well. But you like to think at this level maybe he should have done a bit better.
Yeah. And maybe he did have enough room as well to make one touch and then set himself up for a proper shot.
Then because set it on to the left.
Yeah, the closest player to him was maybe 4 or 5 meters away. Well, even if it's not that far enough for a player of this level to have enough room to get a touch to set the ball up. So a little hasty with the effort there.
Panicked a bit.
Yeah. So Arnett with an early opportunity. Good that Reid picked him out there at the top of the penalty area.
Slight criticism to Reid, though. I thought he could have, that pass could have been a little bit better, a little bit too far behind him.
There's Mark Golden, current chairman of the Arnett Gardens Football Club and member of Parliament of South West St Andrew, where Arnett Gardens is situated. Basil Alves, can he get the left-footed shot off? Alves under pressure from Johnson. Told you about the rock-like figure in defence for Arnett Gardens. Jabber Johnson, you don't get by him too easily.
Yeah, well defended. Alves. Should have probably looked to crack that shot with the right foot, Alves, who scored 2 goals this season. Instead opted for the left and the chance was gone.
There's Timar Lewis, former Monroe 20-year-old who made his Premier League debut last year with Sandals, who spent just 1 season in the top flight before being relegated. Anderson puts pressure on. Harborview's fan base isn't anywhere close to what it would have been in the 1980s and 1990s. But with...
Or especially when they were winning.
Yeah, and they were pretty strong in the 80s. We've had a few more Premier League titles in this generation, including 2013.
They didn't start winning until 2000. They actually won their first.
Morgan. Russell. First touch not as good as it needed to be. Now here's Anderson. He gives the ball away. And Arnett benefiting also from a giveaway with Alves and his left-footed pass. Foul. Alves with a foul. Free kick to Arnett, taken quickly. Trying to transition speedily here through Nelson. Oh, a bit of a misunderstanding there. Nelson and Sims, along with Reid, the 2 front men for Arnett. None of them getting to the end of that Nelson pass. Nelson now 27 years old, a former Charlie Smith standout. And happy to have his career resuscitated after a knee injury that threatened to abort what many consider a very, very promising career. I know 6 years ago the national coaching staff had their eyes on them. Wow, Russell miscontrols, strikes, side netting. So he recovered well after initially missing the ball, but he would have been disappointed with that for sure.
So will he be disappointed? Jerome Waite needed a good first touch, Russell. And yes, he recovered well, but it was a difficult, or he made it more difficult for himself. That is where he needed to provide the touch with the right boot, and he would have been in. Instead, created an angle for himself, and the shot was always going to be difficult from that angle. And certainly at the near post, goalkeeper Price would have had that covered all the way.
Yeah, the ball just skipped away from him when it came initially. With a proper first touch there, he would have been clean away on goal.
And it wasn't a hard first touch to make.
No, Sims gives the ball away. Bennett with a delightful pass upfield. Just a little bit too much weight on it though for Anderson to chase. Sims under pressure. Good football from Arnett. Wow. So Jared Talbot trying his very, very best to prevent the corner. Not successful though. Some long-standing Harborview fans in the stands. Marvin Morgan, they call him Mr. Man. Former St. George's College Manning Cup winner in 2009. Short corner. Sims to the far post. Vassell takes the return play. Vassell goes wide, looking for Beckford. Doesn't quite get to Beckford because Tamar Edwards read the play well.
But he was asking Beckford to make the diagonal run, which would have been a better pass for Vassell. I actually think Harborview are a lot better off when Vassell sees more of the ball, Peter Lee. He certainly has the vision. Not many players in Jamaica with that kind of vision like Peter Lee Vassell, and you always think that something is going to happen when he's on the ball.
Beckford is having trouble here with these Arnett midfielders and defensive players. Oh, the effort from distance by Marvin Morgan. He has an eye for the spectacular, Morgan. Here's Omar Edwards, the Tivoli coach, beaten 2-0 by Cavalier on Sunday night, setting them back just a bit with that result last night, and their loss to Cavalier. Tivoli just slipping to 4th in the table. 5th, I should say, 5th in the standings.
Yeah, it was a big victory for Cavalier. Away as well.
Tivoli now having lights at the Edward Seaga Sports Complex.
Tivoli not even scoring at home. That was a really good performance by Cavalier. Another team that boasts a lot of young players as well, Cavalier.
Yeah, a lot of young talented players in their setup at the moment. Alex Marshall, Jamoy Topi. Sims under pressure.
That victory carrying them to 6th.
Russell has time and space. Edwards. Russell puts the chase on, has a lot of speed, Russell. Does well to keep the ball in, but doesn't keep possession of the ball. Beckett goes wide, gives the ball away. I think he was looking there for Timar Lewis, but didn't find him. Nelson. Edwards. Neal. Morgan. Russell. Protects the ball well, Russell. Edwards. Reed trying to set the ball back there to Nelson. Commits a foul, says referee Hamilton. So Nelson with a perennial frown on his face tonight. Doesn't seem to be enjoying the going. First he was upset about the challenges on him, now not too happy with the referee's call. Nelson. Reed trying to get the return play in, but too far forward. Johnson, Reed, Sims. Edwards to Anderson. Edwards wants it back and gets it. Goes for goal from distance, but very ambitious, the effort, and wide of the target as well. And an apologetic wave of the hand there to his teammates. So we're midway the first half. Harborview. Trying to get themselves out of the relegation zone, but at the moment it's Arnett Gardens that are putting pressure on them. Neil with the Arnett throw. Sims turns his man beautifully. Morgan's strike crashes straight into Nicholas Beckett. Edwards. Russell. Morgan. Anderson. Alves scrambles the ball away left-footed. Throw to Arnett. We're really putting the pressure on. Harborview at the moment locked into their defensive third. Morgan with a throw. There's the effort there. That went astray. Nelson. Johnson shrugs off the challenge well. Neil's first touch well. Neil getting in the way. Tries to strike, but Alves blocks the effort. Alves very busy tonight for Harborview. Morgan. Good defensive work by Harborview. Skill from Beckett. The clearance from Vassell. Edwards turns really well for Arnett. Pass there aiming for Sims, but doesn't find the mark.
Not necessary. I think he could have made a shorter pass there to try and build the play. As you see in the early stages, too many long balls I think being played by both teams, and not accurate ones either.
Bennett working hard in his central midfield position for Harborview. Former Rivoli player. There's Alves. Sims has been busy tonight for Arnett Gardens as well. Bennett.
From Harborview's perspective, they'll be glad that Fabian Reed hasn't seen much of the ball so far.
Yeah. Lewis. Beckett. Vassell. Has room here, Vassell. Loses his balance. And the ball. Morgan on the counter.
You think he was on ice, Vassell, the way he was sliding around.
Yeah. Nelson knocked over by Alves. Not for the first time tonight. So I think Alves may have been given the role to keep an eye here on Nelson. Oh, look at the collision. Wants to play the Arnett number 4 in a strong fashion and aggressive manner. 6 fouls committed by Harborview so far in the piece. 10 fouls in the match. Reed trying to set the ball down. Sims. Oh, Reed trying to hit the ball back in Sims's path. Stewart gives up a throw deep inside their own half. So Harborview defensively poor so far this season, but clean sheets in their last 2 matches would have been encouraging for their coach Ricardo Gardner, who as a defender all his career would be a little bit embarrassed by the sloppy defensive record that his team has so far this season. Beckford. Oh, daring move there by Beckford to cut between 2 Arnett players with his little size, and was almost successful.
Yeah, very nifty footwork generally from Beckford. Very skillful play and very quick. And you'd like to believe had he successfully moved that ball through, he certainly wouldn't have been caught.
Approaching the half-hour mark.
And again, you notice that ball advanced by Peter Lee Vassell, picking up the ball in a deep position and then finding the forward passes.
This is the last match in match day 11 of a 33-game regular season. So we're just about to close the first third of the season. Bennett sets the ball back here to Beckett, who does well. Anderson puts pressure on. Edwards. McGregor. Anderson under some pressure from Beckford. Edwards. And a wayward pass from Edwards. Johnson. McGregor. Edwards again has room and time. Alves fouls Russell. I think Alves has committed about 4 of the 7 Harborview fouls in the match so far.
I like how Russell has started the game though. Russell very positive in his movements. Good touch about him, moves the ball well, looking to get forward. Russell, good little pace. His first step seems to be quicker than his opponent.
Yeah. Does have a couple of goals so far this season, even though he missed most of the matches so far this season because of a knee injury, only just returning, second match back. But he is a player that Arnett can depend on for goals. He scored 5 goals last year for Arnett Gardens. Only Reed with 16 scored more than he did in the 2017-18 campaign. This is McGregor, former Barbican player. Looking pretty studious. Vassell slides the ball through to Anderson. Anderson doesn't get there in time.
Very dangerous player when on the ball, Peter Lee Vassell. Has that ability about him to find that pass, split a defense.
One of the really young players in the starting roster here for the Harborview team. Anderson, the number 12, putting the chase on, just 21 years old. Vassell, who passed the ball, 20 years old. Deshane Beckford is only 20 as well. And there's a teenager in the defensive line as well as Janet Talbot.
Yeah, formerly of JC Talbot.
Yeah, Manning Cup winning defender.
Yeah.
Vassell shows his skill. Cornwall College winning midfielder back in 2016.
Him and the likes of Jordan Fletcher, who now plays from Obey United. Those were the 2 that really were integral in their lifting the title at Cornwall College.
Yeah, that's for sure. Peter Lee Vassell also actually played for Jamaica on Sunday against Suriname in the CONCACAF Nations League match, so he's having an outing here for the second time in 2 days. Didn't play the entire game, but was part of the Jamaica team that beat Suriname 2-1 on Sunday in Montego Bay. Whistle. Nelson protects the ball and wins a free kick. Referee Odette Hamilton calls a playback. There's Carvel Stewart, PLCA and a long-standing Harborview official. Harborview very quick to the ball here. Beckford goes wide to Lewis, who is under pressure from Russell. I don't think he has kept that in. No, he hasn't.
That was Lolo Bernard beside him, who was a big match tomorrow for Kingston College, head coach of Kingston College.
Yeah, that match live on Sportsmax 2 on Tuesday afternoon.
Has coached different levels at Harborview as well.
Yeah.
Senior and under 20 for quite a while.
He was actually the RSPL coach before Ricardo Gardner took over fully. Huge collision there between Javon Sims and Richard Anderson. Arnett coming away with a free kick. And Lamar Nelson wants it. William Price. wants to ensure that this two-man wall is positioned exactly where he wants them. Neil coming off an 89th minute strike for Arnett that gave them the 1-0 win over Mount Pleasant last week Sunday. Neil goes for goal. Pretty tame effort in the end. Morgan under some pressure. Russell, the cross inside. Reed with a header wide. Well, his teammates on the bench appear amused, and I'm not sure why.
Got to be scoring that Fabian Reed. Based on his goal scoring form, 4 goals in 7 games, 20 goals in 37 games, 3 goals at the national level for Jamaica from 4 appearances. And with his prolific form up front, you might have bet your house that he would have put that into the back of the net. Good thing you didn't.
Yeah. Also played in the Trinidad and Tobago Pro League for San Juan Jablote. So he has experience outside of Jamaica's domestic league as well. Beckett goes left side. Wow, Lewis does really well here, but over dribbles the ball eventually. Just over 10 minutes to the halftime break. He has won a corner, I think.
Shocking that Reed missed that though. Great build-up.
With a corner kick for Harborview. They've only scored 1 goal in their last 3 matches, Harborview, and looking to boost their scoring tally. 5 yellow shirts in the box for Harborview. The header from Alves and the diving stop from Hyatt. The big man got across expertly.
Good header by Alves, leading goal scorer for Harborview so far this season with 2 goals. But that was a well-positioned header. Going back across the keeper, not sure this actually come off of. Was it off his shoulder in the end? Might very well have been. But it was a good direction and well saved by Hyatt.
Morgan tries to get Reed going, but Reed misses the ball, and Stewart gets in there and knocks the ball out for a throw. Arnett with a quick transition that almost punished Harborview, who are late getting back.
In the space of 2 minutes, you can see that the tempo is really lifted, which makes it more exciting.
Yeah. Oh, good skill there by Lewis. Harborview on the advance. That's Bebeto McDonald being chased by Edwards. McGregor. Morgan. Throw to Harborview. Lewis. Edwards. Authoritative in midfield for Arnett Gardens so far. Here's McGregor. Nelson. Nelson. Oh, that was Beckford, fouled by Anderson. And from his reaction, appears to have been struck in the face by the big Arnett right fullback. Let's see what happened here. Yeah, slapped in the face by Ranike Anderson.
Based on what I've seen here, that should probably have been a card. Oh. No need for the hand to be waving around. Not sure if you meant to slap him in the face though, actually, when you looked at the second replay. But certainly meant to use the hand to put him off. Maybe the hand was meant to be in the chest.
Yeah.
Still might be lucky to get away with it.
Yeah, rough night here for Shane Beckford, a player with a lot of skill. And the Arnett defenders fully recognize, I think, that they have to try to stop him early. Because if he gets going and gets time on the ball, he could hurt them.
And a young player who's just coming into the Premier League a couple of seasons now. So, as you say, the physical nature is what they would have over him. So trying to impose themselves like that, roughing him up. Probably even a word in his ear that this is no longer a school league. You know, those kind of things. Intimidation,
yeah,
is an important part of course, professional sport.
Russell to Morgan, shoved off the ball by Vassell. Referee Hamilton awards a free kick to Arnett. There's Peter Lee Vassell. Oh, that's a good pass by Javoni Sims, but Reed isn't able to keep it. And the counter attack now from Harborview. Here comes McDonald! 1-0! Harborview! Bebeto McDonald strikes his first of the season, and the home team are in front 6 minutes to the halftime break. Straight through the legs of the advancing Damien Hyde. And the Harborview fans have something to cheer about. Pretty poor on the goal scoring end recently, but gets away here from McGregor. And the firm right-footed effort straight through the legs of Hyatt. Harborview are in front.
Former Charlie Smith striker stand out, Bebeto McDonald. That was clinical finishing, but poor defending by McGregor. I just thought he was too weak in terms of how he approached the ball. Very flat-footed, sold himself, and so was easily beaten. I don't think McDonald really had to work very hard to get past him.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, still had to finish it, and finished well.
Yeah, McGregor missed the ball. He went for the challenge and just missed. So it made things easy for McDonald on one-on-one with the goalkeeper.
Out of nowhere.
Wow, so Harborview against the odds here, finding themselves in front. Carter Gardner, their coach, did suggest in the pre-game interview that he thinks his unit is improving and beginning to show the kind of quality that he wants from them. They're just 1/3 of the way through the season, so their relegation position at the moment, I don't think would cause any panic buttons to be pressed. I remember last year they won just one of their first 6 matches and started the season poorly, recovered well, and surged into the playoffs.
And we did speak about the leaky defense of Arnett Gardens. Here it shows again with McGregor. That's their 12th goal they've conceded so far this season in just their 11th game. So even though they sit fourth, as you said, frailties at the back.
Yeah, that's
and illustrated again.
Yeah. Arnett have conceded more goals than any of the other teams in the current top 6. Here they are looking for the equalizer with Reed on the left side. Throw to Arnett as the ball came off Bennett's boot. Now Anderson on the counter-attack. Aiming there for McDonald, the goal scorer, not quite getting to him because Johnson was right there with the challenge. Just to accentuate Arnett Gardens' defensive woes at the moment, I mentioned they've given up more goals than any of the other teams in the top 6. Could go further than that. The only teams that have given up more goals than they have are the bottom 3 teams Mobe, Dunbeholden, and Harborview. Not something that the coaching staff at Arnett has been overly worried about over the years, because they tend to score more than they concede. So at the end of the day, they, for the most part, end up winning. But I guess there are other coaches who would never be satisfied with their team giving up goals so freely. Reed, can he get the shot off here? Foul. Referee Hamilton steps in and awards a free kick to Harborview in their defensive third. Reed apologizes for the challenge there on this man, Kimar Bennett. And I think this is where the foul was committed, because Bennett was dragged down there by Reed. A little bit late to the referee's whistle. But Hamilton, a pretty solid referee here with a track record of competition herself, having represented GC Foster College in volleyball. Russell, good pace from Russell, still Russell. Delightful pass to Sims, who tries to slide the ball in for Reed, doesn't quite get there. Neal, Edwards.
Hamilton just coming off of a big fixture herself at the schoolboy level with the semi-final of the Champions Cup.
That's right.
Jamaica College versus St. Elizabeth Technical. She was in charge of that fixture at Sabina Park.
And didn't miss some of the Red Stripe Premier League as well, because she had been in Texas officiating in the CONCACAF Women's World Cup qualifiers.
Right.
McDonald and Edwards challenging for the same ball. Edwards fouled. And McGregor prepares to strike with a free kick. 1 minute being added on for stoppages. Whistle, foul against Beckett. Free kick to Harborview inside their own half. So a pretty satisfying first half about to come to an end here for the home team. Struggling for results so far, just 2 wins in their 10 matches so far. Desperately need a win tonight to start their revival. At the end of the first round, this is match day 11. The last match in the first round of games. Tell you that last year at this time Harborview were also hovering around the relegation zone, but recovered really admirably. So there's the halftime whistle, and there's the man of the moment for Harborview, Bebeto McDonald, the 23-year-old former Charlie Smith player. An outstanding save from Damien Had earlier on, but then he gave up the goal, and Reed hasn't not been able to pierce the Harborview defense so far. So at the end of 45 minutes, Harborview in front by 1-0 on that McDonald strike.
Yeah, against a run of play from McDonald. Well taken for his first goal of the season. Fabian Reed had the best opportunity for Arnett Gardens. But as you said, 1-0 at halftime.
So we'll be back with our halftime, or the first half highlights and halftime feature after this break.
One bag of gold medal pan me now. Red stripe alone champion boy go. Pan a pour them a sing anthem too. Red stripe, watch out, watch out, watch out. Man shall I better forward boy. Red stripe Premier League champion boy score. Every goal winner run from boy. Red stripe Premier League champion boy now. Back down we run him marathon boy. The Red stripe Premier League champion boy. Yeah, yo. one bag of gold medal pan me now. Red stripe alone champion boy go. Pan a pour them a sing the anthem too. Red stripe, watch out, watch out, watch out. Man, shall I be the forward boy? Red stripe Premier League champion boy score. Every goal winner run from boy. Red stripe Premier League champion boy now. Back down we run the marathon boy. The red stripe Premier League champion boy. Yeah, yo.
Cool breeze here across the Harborview Mini Stadium, and their fans are happy because they're in front by 1-0 on that Bebeto McDonald goal 5 minutes before the half-time break. His first of the season, the 23-year-old former Charlie Smith player putting Harborview in front against several other Charlie Smith players who are in the Arnett outfit tonight. Pretty physical first half between these two teams. A lot of energy early.
20 fouls shared between the two, but luckily for all the players, the cars have stayed in the pocket from Odell Hamilton. And you had mentioned this about Deshane Beckford, that because of his pace and trickery, just not wanting to give him space, roughing it up, and you see it there as well. As you can see, they're giving no one space.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Nelson losing his cool there because of the Alves challenges on him.
Yeah. And as you said, coming off of injury as well, just doesn't want to be exposed in that way.
Yeah, so we're about to see the kickoff for the second half now. And Harborview bubbling because they're in an unfamiliar position of being poised for a 3-point game. Neil's header out from the Peter Lee Vassell. Long pass. Russell. Lewis chases. Vassell. Lewis. Vassell wants the ball. Good pass inside to Alves.
Always has this lethargic way about him, Vassell.
Yeah. McDonald. Vassell charges toward goal. Anderson. Sims. Knocked over there by Darius Stewart. Neil does well here. Over dribbles a bit, but still has the ball. Lamar Neal, still Neal. Whistle, ball in the net, but Reed was offside.
Should have been easy for him to see that as well. That Reed was in an offside position. Surprised that he still forced a pass. And after delaying twice, Reed was always going to be offside. And the best chance for Arnett Gardens in the first half, yeah, Fabian Reed.
With a headed effort. Probably 6 or 8 inches wide of the target.
From the 6-yard box.
Yeah, should have done better there.
What a win this would be if Harborview can maintain it. It would take them to 9th in the table, 12 points. And they would jump over Reno.
Long ball hit across and behind by the goal scorer McDonald.
We'll still put them 3 points adrift of Waterhouse, who is in 8th position. But it would carry them out of relegation, most importantly.
Yeah, it would do a lot for their confidence as well, because they haven't done a lot of winning so far. As we said, just 2 wins in 10 games, so any victory now would be a plus for them. McDonald slides the ball forward through. Oh, Anderson missed kicks.
He was offside anyhow. Not sure if he knew that though by the time he kicked. Yes.
Yeah, he was offside.
Easily.
Delicate pass slid through there by McDonald though, who's setting himself up for a big game tonight, having already scored. Reed brings the ball down really well. Reed still has it. Russell. No, Beckford not enjoying his game tonight. He's having some physical confrontations here and not really coming out the best of them. So he hasn't really tonight, Beckford, been able to exhibit the immense skills he has.
Well, they just haven't given it the space to. Hasn't really been able to face any defenders and take them on.
Yeah.
His strength is not a back-to-goal situation, which is almost how he's getting the ball every time, and they're not allowing him to turn. So smart defending by Arnett Gardens from that perspective.
There's Alvarez having a big game for Harborview tonight. Really, his work rate impressive. Tackles well, covering a lot of ground on the field, and is a huge part of the reason why Harborview are in front in this game at the moment. Dario Stewart. Lewis. Beckett. Bennett. Good passing here from Harborview. Alves goes wide. Beckford's cross inside. Vassell. Ooh, right across the goal, no one there. Promising built up there by Harborview, but in the end, they have nothing to show for it.
Well, you see what can happen when Shane Beckford gets an opportunity to run at you. He has the pace, now he's facing the defender, he's away. Good delivery into the box, well, a little bit behind, but at the in the area you'd want it, at the penalty spot. And Peter Lee Vassell just thought when he got the ball the first time he got the opportunity to shoot with the right foot that he should have.
Yeah. Just thought he felt the ball was leaving him, so at the last minute he thought that the better option wasn't to strike, but there was an opportunity for him to strike.
Just didn't get the steps right leading into the ball, and I think that was his reason for delaying.
Ball is over the touchline. McDonald doesn't agree. But he doesn't have a flag nor a whistle, does he? Beckford trying to stifle Lamar Nelson. Doesn't do it legally, so gives up a free kick to Arnett. We're pressing forward with this free kick now from Edwards. Anderson. Stewart with the clearance. Sims charging in and foul against him.
I think he was stepping in there. Studs raised.
Stewart.
That was a pretty good idea by Vassell, but just couldn't find Campbell. They do have a really good understanding from schoolboy days. Campbell, who you see in his screen, Beckford, sorry, and Peter Lee Vassell.
Both teams missing some key midfielders tonight. Of course, Harborview without Tyreek McGee. Alves goes wide here to Beckford. Anderson charges into Beckford. Stops him, but not legally. Free kick to Harborview. Taken quickly. Vassell, tripped just outside the box. Free kick to Harborview. Just over 18 yards out.
I was thinking that the first challenge was lucky that there was no card. It was a two-footed challenge on Beckford. No card. Still no card here. Well, this one probably wasn't deserving of a card. I thought the first one with a two-footed challenge, yes. Look here now. Where's the intention to play the ball?
Wow.
Yeah, that's got...
That looked
yeah, that's
fairly reckless.
That should have been a card.
Well, Hat also already brought off a fine save from the Alpes effort in the first half. He may be called upon now to keep Arnett in the game here. It's Beckett who looks as if he wants to strike. Beckett! Oh, to the crossbar and over. Disappointment for Harborview and coach Ricardo Gardner.
Good effort from Beckett. Very unlucky. Had the pace, perfect pace behind it, just not dipping in time. Based on how close it was to the 18-yard box, it's not an easy skill to get the ball up and over and down again.
Yeah.
And got the pace, got it over the wall, but just not down in time.
Yeah, not far there from his second goal of the season. Scored twice last year.
Captain of the team as well.
Arnett looking for the equalizer. Sims challenging for the wall. Morgan under pressure.
Not seeing enough of him in the second half, Marvin Morgan.
There's Malcolm. Substitute. Hardware, Vishnu Harrison, Damar Deacon, three key attacking players for Arnett Gardens out on the injured list tonight. Harborview also missing a key player in Tyreek McGee, the young former JC player.
He was away in Portugal at a youth camp, under 20 camp. Tyreek McGee. He certainly would have been integral in the attacking side of things for Harborview, and I'd like to think that him and Vassell within the midfield would really have been an asset.
Yeah.
Two players with great vision.
Yeah. Young, talented teenager, still just 19 years old, McGee. Former KC captain and defender Javine Brown has also been a part of this Harborview setup.
Yeah, he's missing as well.
Morgan goes long, looks for Sims, but Beckett gets there before him. Sims reads the play well, recovers. Price with the easy take. Has not had much to do tonight. Price in the Harborview goal.
Hasn't really had to make a telling save at all so far.
So that
should have had to.
Yeah, but Reed had missed from point blank range.
And had Russell's touch as well early on been a little bit better, he would have had some work to do as well.
Oh, great skill there from the former Monroe star, Timar Lewis. Russell trying to go through the center of the Harborview defense. There's a pull back there from Peter Lee. Bassett just grabbing the shirt of the Arnett player as he went forward.
He's obviously gotten away with that.
I think Hamilton, the referee, would have allowed the play to go on because Arnett were in transition, and she would have allowed the advantage because they were threatening goal. That's
well, I think she did the right thing in playing the advantage. He would have gotten away with not getting a booking though, which he obviously could have given that retroactively.
Yeah, that was the Edwards, and there's the injury there with Reed getting entangled with the Harborview player who's down hurt now.
What's happening there? Some form of wrestling.
Yeah, it's Talbot, Johnny Talbot.
WWF.
Wow.
WWE.
Oh, they're still wrestling. I know we're in slow-mo, but it does seem protracted.
Yeah, that was at least 5 seconds of wrestling.
Talbot, youngest player on the field at 19. Harvey is warming up, the 36-year-old who wasn't on the starting roster because of hamstring injury. Johan Weatherly is also warming up for Harborview. Johnson with a throw for Arnett. Anderson with a header back. Sims tries to strike, misses it. And the goal scorer, McDonald, now charges away down the right. Well read by McGregor.
Yeah, this time McGregor gets his feet in the right place at the right time.
Yeah. Bennett, solid at central midfield for Harborview tonight. He's had a big game. Nelson. Oh, great skill. Sims goes for the header. Doesn't get a clean header on.
Who is that?
Former Excelsior. And now plays Masters League football for Christian Ambassadors. Phil Riley.
Oh, yeah.
His brother coaches Excelsior and Manning Cup football.
Daniel Riley.
There's Javoni Sims.
His other brother is a well-known track coach, David Riley.
Yeah. A tremendous sporting family, that.
Philip Riley, who you just mentioned, played many a year for Santos as well. In the different leagues. Super League and Major League.
Crashes at goal. Doesn't get a hold of the effort that well. There's Kimar Malcolm. He turns 29 years old today, former St. George's College standout. Played on their winning Manning Cup team in 2008 and was a huge part of their championship success with 25 goals that season.
Goals is what Arnett Gardens need now if they're going to get back into this.
He's been having some diminishing returns for Arnett Gardens in recent years. Whistle on the play. Foul. Free kick to Harborview. Malcolm scored only 2 goals last year for Arnett Gardens, having built up the reputation in previous years of being a solid attacking player for Arnett.
You did mention the only success that Harborview have had, which came in 2016 in their last 10 encounters against Arnett Gardens. It did happen at home. So that little bit of history does go in their favor. That 3-0 victory was actually here in 2016. Harborview with a slight possession advantage at 52%.
So Harborview,
even more impressively, if this scoreline stays the same, it will be their 3rd clean sheet in a row. Harborview.
Yeah, have to believe that Coach Gardner is solving their defensive problems. Did come into the season without Rand Wellington and Kareem Manning, 2 key defenders for them last year when they were the best defensive team. Of course, Manning gone over to Mount Pleasant and Wellington returning to Portmore.
And Javane Brown missing today. Of course, senior team experience, Javane Brown, and played in the under-20 team that, well, we would say they weren't successful, but finished the tour in Florida without losing a match.
Yeah, 2-2 with Mexico.
Yeah, and winning all of, what, 4 games other than that.
Stewart with a cross. Johnson just getting a vital header onto that, denying Beckford, who was creeping on the back post. Stewart's cross just then. Not a bad effort from the Harborview right fullback.
We've seen almost 65 minutes without a change. I don't think that will stay that way for long.
McDonald looking for a corner there, but didn't quite get it.
do have the pacey midfield option who can play wing back as well, but more midfield I think of Zelana Barnes as well, who could add some pace on the flank. Another former St. George's standout.
See how Arnett trying to measure their passes and trying to slice their way through the Harborview defense line. Just those finishing touches not as tidy as they need to be. In the meantime, Harborview are trying to build themselves up for a strong second and third round, which they did last year after a wretched start to the season. Finished the regular season last year at Harborview with an unbeaten 5-game streak, including matches against Portmore and Arnett Gardens. They actually won 6 of their last 8 matches in the regular season to propel themselves into the playoffs after a pretty poor start to the season. So right now, up to this point, they are mirroring what they did last year. Bad start to the season, but signs now of some recovery. Beckford doing a bit too much there, not getting by Johnson. Morgan whipping the cross quickly inside. Beckett, the captain, with a clearance. Sims, Morgan. Reed getting there for the header, but it was blocked. And Sean Talbot putting himself in the way.
Yeah, not the greatest of defending by Talbot, even though he ended up getting a touch.
Yeah.
A little bit surprised that there was no challenge on the ball here. That was a weak attempt to head the ball from Talbot. Needed to be stronger. Luckily for him, Reed didn't make the most of it.
5 red shirts for Arnett in the box.
I somewhat wonder, even though Marvin Morgan, you know, can be penetrative from the flanks, if he might be more useful in a more central role for Arnett Gardens. Because when he does, here he is, when he does come into the center of things, he does look like things can happen. Very busy, has a good shot, the ability to pass the ball in small places. But when he's on the wing, he's somewhat out of the play and can only play provider in terms of a cross.
Sims. Still Sims. Doesn't have the room to get the cross inside. Has to go back to Neil. McDonald comes back and helps out in defense, and here's Anderson now.
Oh, great pass.
Offside. Beckford should have done better with that run. He was on the left channel, could see right across him, and may have been a little bit more measured in his run downfield.
Crowd certainly don't think that he was offside. Let's see. Yeah.
Well, from that angle, it's inconclusive.
Yeah.
It does beg the question whether he was offside or not.
That angle doesn't give you the greatest perspective, but
Neil.
Obviously was a tight call.
Nelson, good skill. Morgan. Morgan with a strike.
See the difference when Morgan comes into that central region. He has that ability, he has the skill. Is dangerous, likes to run at opponents, and has a good shot. That wasn't the greatest shot, but it's been one of the most positive moves Arnett Gardens have shown.
He does have an eye for the spectacular as well, Morgan. Did score a tremendous goal in the 2017 final, the winner.
Well, we did speak about Weatherly. He's about to have some action. There he is, Johan Weatherly. Very busy player, yeah. Speedy. Son of Dr. Dean Weatherly, head coach at Cornwall College.
Spent a couple of seasons at Montego Bay.
Yeah, scored 2 goals in each of the seasons that he was there at Montego Bay. Attended Monroe back in the day.
Arnett looking for the equalizing strike. Sims with a cross inside. The header down by Johnson, just wide.
Should have scored that, lads. That's got to be on target. That was a great delivery into the box. Excellent delivery. Can't ask for better trajectory. Perfect. I thought actually goalkeeper Price needed to have done better than maybe it needed to. Well, then again, it was in an area that was very difficult, but Price was stuck on his line. And had that header got the right connection, he almost certainly would have been beat. That was a big chance.
Yeah. Harborview making their change. And Weatherly in the number 9 shirt is coming on, I think, for Anderson.
Yeah. Richard Anderson.
So Anderson.
Real quiet game.
Yes, about to exit the game, Anderson. And Johan Weatherly. Little 22-year-old. Short player. Weatherly. Only 5 feet 5 inches tall. Did have a short stint with the Los Angeles Galaxy Academy in California. Said scored 4 goals the past 2 seasons with Montego Bay before his transfer. And here's the birthday boy, Kamal Malcolm. His birthday today. He's on for Arnett Gardens, as I have mentioned. Diminishing returns, formerly an ace striker for Arnett Gardens in the Premier League. But he only scored 2 goals last year, 5 goals the year before, and 13 3 seasons ago. Bit of a shout there in the box for Reed tumbling over. The Arnett fans looking to referee Hamilton.
Well, the challenge came from behind. Now, there's a... He doesn't shove him in the back, but he collides with him. No real... Is he trying... Well, he's challenging for the ball, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say maybe smart defending. Did he have his eye on the ball? Did look like he was challenging for the ball, but there was a collision. Maybe not enough in that.
Malcolm immediately gets a touch onto the ball.
I am a firm believer that when sportsmen and when persons generally are celebrating birthdays, it is a moment where good things can happen for them. as persons from the Eastern culture would say, the stars are aligned.
Oh.
So could this be that kind of day for Malcolm? You have seen it just across the board in international sport and so on. When persons do have birthdays, they achieve great things in a sport from a sporting perspective.
Well, it does happen sometimes.
Yeah. Great innings, good goals, top performances.
Of course, the Harborview nickname is the Stars of the East.
Well, that wouldn't be helping him much, though, Malcolm.
Weatherly. Delightful pass to Beckford. Beckford still has it. Well, in the end, 3 Arnett players converge on him, and he loses the advantage. Oh, great pass there by Vassell. Oh, McDonald tumbles over the ball. Arnett in transition now with Malcolm, the speedy one. Goes wide to Russell, who is also fast. Alves.
Love the composure of Vassell on the ball. He just makes the pass, it looks so easy, and then look at how the ball is so easily given away.
Yeah. Weatherly with an errant pass.
But again, the example of Beckford that we
Nelson
saw a short while ago
yeah.
is the criticism of Beckford generally. Sometimes just tries to do too much, doesn't do the simple things. Yes, he has the skill and so on, but when to use it is the important part. And guilty of trying too much and then nothing happening in the play, giving away the ball.
Johnson. Russell. Stewart hounding. Russell tries to use his pace to get by Stewart. Stewart puts enough pressure on him. to deny him. Does give up a corner though. Harborview looking for 3 points tonight. Would only be their 3rd win in 11 matches. 5th corner this for Arnett Gardens. Red shirt spilling up the box for the Arnett team. Goal! Equalizer, Ranike Anderson. A sequence of passes in the box. The Harborview defenders unable to get the ball away. And it's Anderson on the far post with a side-footed strike. His first goal of the season. And Arnett are back in business.
Yeah, not the best of corners, but well put back into the box by Johnson. Good touch save by Price, but this ball put back into the air from Johnson was an excellent header. And guess who had the initial header? Malcolm. It was a great save by Price. But as you said, on the back post, Ranike Anderson with a touch.
Yeah, it does have the sort of tendency to score. Harborview looking to get back into the lead here. Beckford trying to strike one time, left-footed, doesn't make proper contact. Anderson does tend to score from set plays. Good work here by Weatherly.
Nice ball put into the box.
There's the effort there from Beckford, left-footed.
Not sure if that shot was really on though.
So Arnett fighting back here now. McGregor struck in the face by the boot of Bebeto McDonald. And you see, you remember, did score for Arnett Gardens in the final 2 seasons ago when they defeated Portmore by 2-1. Malcolm still, the birthday boy. And it's Beckett that denies him. Wins a corner though, Arnett.
His birthday times can certainly lift the spirits. Great energy seems coming on, Malcolm. Has made a difference. A lot more impetus going forward, Arnett Gardens.
Yeah, player with a lot of pace, Malcolm.
Would have got the assist for that goal because it was his header that was fingertip saved by Price. The first time that Price was really called into action so far.
Neil down with an injury for Arnett. So Neil hobbling. About 13 minutes remaining.
Well, we know what happened the last time Arnett had a corner.
Price with a frantic dive to prevent that one. Only got a fingertip to it.
Yeah. It was close as to whether it was still going in, but Anderson being sure.
Neil, maybe his night is over. Russell's corner. Ooh. Oh, that slides past everyone. McGregor's header out. McDonald.
Not the best of defending by Harborview, but they get away with it.
Beckford wants to take the throw quickly and does. The headed pass by Beckett. Bennett. Bennett and Beckett exchanging passes now to Lewis. Wow, Ranike Anderson grabs the ball upfield. It smashes into Bennett. Kimar Philpotts is now on for Neil, who limped off injured a couple of minutes ago. So Kimar Philpotts spent some time, I think, at Waterhouse, now in the Arnett red and black outfit. Weatherly under pressure from Edwards, who tackles expertly. Alves. Lewis takes the return pass from his captain. Good football from Harborview. Beckford. Oh, good exchange of passes between Beckford and Peterlee Vassell. Beckford disappointed with his final effort, right-footed.
Yeah, good one too. As we said, from primary school days, these two have been playing together. They have a really good understanding. Good 1-2 passing. The finish, not really the quality that you would expect from Beckford. But I like the idea, trying to place that to the far corner. Just didn't really make the greatest of connections.
Of course, Peterlee Vassell from Cornwall College.
Yeah, both from
Beckford
the parish of St. James.
Beckford went to Godfrey Stewart and Rossies.
Yeah.
Stewart wasting the effort there after Harborview picked up the ball in an advantageous position. Steve Clark, another attacking player for Arnett Gardens, warming up. So if the score remains as it is with just under 10 minutes remaining, Arnett would miss their target of winning tonight to go second in the league.
Instead, they would go third, ahead of UE. Of course, they are currently tied on 17 points with UE and Tivoli, but with a +2 goal difference compared to UE's +4. And 1 point would take them to 18, so they'd be 2 behind Mount Pleasant and 3 behind Portmore.
Yeah, UE suffering a painful loss to Mount Pleasant.
And at point would leave Harborview at 11th. They would remain 11th with 10 points, still in the relegation. So, even a more important result in terms of a victory for Harborview.
Ball crossed inside very well there by, I thought it was Morgan. And Malcolm there arriving. No one for Arnett getting to the ball. But an anxious moment there for the home team, who were in front 5 minutes before the halftime break through that Bebeto McDonald strike. But then Ranike Anderson, late in the second half, found the equalizer for Arnett, and now there's a scramble for 3 points with 8 minutes remaining. Beckford sets the ball inside McDonald. Goes for goal, but side netting. Peterlee Vassell was in the middle waiting for it, but McDonald went for the strike on his own.
Lack of vision, I think, from Bebeto McDonald. Just here where we received the ball, should have been aware what's around him. Difficult angle for him ever. It was covered by the defender, and Peterlee Vassell was clear. There you see him coming to the right of screen. Had he slid that across, Peterlee Vassell would have had basically a tap-in.
Yeah, he would have. McDonald already scoring on the night. Wow. Alves going there for the strike on goal, but not really getting a hold of it. The ball coming across from Johan Weatherly, who has made some telling plays since he has come on here in the second half. This man has had a big night tonight, Alves. His work rate tremendous tonight for Harborview. Russell is off. And Steve Clark is on. So speed for speed.
Didn't have a bad showing, Russell. Thought he was more involved in the play in the first half, not so much in the second half. Former Charlie Smith man, Lennox Russell.
Oh, delightful ball through there. Reed under some pressure. His cross. Clark gets an early opportunity in the box. Gets away from his man. His cross, dangerous. Talbot is it that tries to get the ball out. Price holds on to it for dear life. So things pretty knotty at the top of the table here. Said Portmore leading with 21 points. Here is McDonald trying to strike. Another opportunity for McDonald! And Ranike Anderson clearing the ball almost off the line.
Great defensive work by Anderson. That's defensive awareness at its best. Scored at one end, defending at the other. Protecting the points, as they would say.
Yeah,
and
Weatherly and Bebeto McDonald getting in each other's way
that was
here.
going in, Lance.
Looks as if it was squeezing in, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Close.
Close. Might have been the upright.
It might have been the upright.
He wouldn't have known that though. Easy for him to have gotten caught up in the play and not get there.
Yeah.
So that was top defending.
As we head to the last 5 minutes of the game.
Has been criticised some of the time, Anderson, about his size, but certainly not about his commitment.
No, he's a pretty strong player. And
yeah.
because he had a pretty strong defensive game, apart from his goal tonight, he enters the conversation for the match MVP.
Yeah, certainly.
Because it's part of his successful night that we have had tonight. There's McDonald, I think, just hurt there on the collision there with Weatherly, as both of them went for the same ball. That the Ranike Anderson effort tonight.
And that has been Anderson's job, Shane Campbell, Shane Beckford.
Right.
He's locked him down pretty well thus far.
Oh, Weatherly not getting control of that ball. Clark. Foul by Lewis on Clark. Late challenge. Less than 4 minutes of normal time remaining. There's Lewis. Second season in the Premier League. Played for Sandals last year. And here's Marvin Morgan. Right to the far post. Price gets there with a punch out. Edwards keeps it in. Oh, the flick on. Offside call against Anderson. These are the positions Anderson can be quite dangerous. I've seen him score so many goals from these set plays. And he's always the man that is somewhere about there to stick the ball in, as we saw earlier on. Oh, he was not offside.
Why was he offside?
What was the call then?
That's an unbelievable call.
Well, what was the call? We have to think that it was not offside, because there was the Harborview player on the goal line behind the goalkeeper.
Two players, yeah. The keeper and his defender. No. Certainly couldn't have been obstructing the keeper either.
There's Phil Potts. Second half substitute for Arnett. Harborview trying to win it late. Hyatt holds on well in goal. Beckett long.
Your man Anderson there again.
Yeah, really marshalling things in defense, Ranike Anderson.
Very strange, that call with Ranike Anderson a short while ago.
Yeah, not too sure what that was
about. Don't see anything that he did wrong, because it was his foot he used to flick the ball.
Morgan Clark, chance here for Arnett. Clark goes for the direct effort. Bit of a fumble there from Price, but holds on to it well second time.
Actually use his body to stop the ball.
Malcolm does well. Nelson, still Nelson. Good football here from Arnett. Morgan. Philpotts. Edwards. Morgan.
I like when Morgan plays in the central positions. He adds so much more to the attack of Arnett Gardens. The little 1-2s, the short 5-yard passes, the ability to shoot from range, from distance. He is much better utilized there than when he is out on the wing.
Yeah.
Even for Jamaica, when he is playing, when he's in that central zone with a Vassal and so on, he looks a lot more menacing.
Price holds on well. Not sure what the coaches demand of Morgan on the field, because he's such a workhorse, tackles and has so much energy in midfield. Doesn't score that many goals. He scored 3 goals last year and 4 goals the season before that. 2 goals so far this season. But based on how he plays, you almost think that he should be scoring more.
Agreed. I think that goal tally is actually underachieving from the kind of quality that he brings and his ability to shoot. Does have good technique generally with the shot. And I certainly agree that you should easily be a 10-goal a season man, at least.
Yeah. So 3 minutes added on for stoppages. And these two teams are battling here to what could be a drawn result. Arnett, on a 4-game unbeaten streak at the moment, will now go 5, equal with Humberland, who are at the moment enjoying the best unbeaten run in the league. After a pretty poor start under coach Admiral Bailey, but they have recovered so well in recent weeks. Humberland, and now, as we said, undefeated in their last 5 games.
Yeah.
UWI, as we said yesterday, unfortunate, on the verge of holding Mount Pleasant to a draw.
89th minute.
Yeah.
Was it?
And spoiling the birthday weekend for their coach. Andrew Peart. Again, Anderson sneaks in and slides the ball away from Weatherly.
Having lost last week, Mount Pleasant, that was an important victory for them, though, in terms of the top 5.
Wow. Bebeto McDonald runs into a wall in Anderson, who at the moment, I guess, is our man of the match.
Rough and tough, Ranike Anderson. Don't know if you would want to end up in a duel with him.
Yeah.
No nonsense kind of defender.
Now 30 years old. Went to Bremerville in his high school days. Did start out with Tivoli in the Red Stripe Premier League.
Of course, Bebeto McDonald would know these Arnett players very well.
Yeah.
Went to Charlie Smith, comes from here.
Oh,
Would have played with some of them as well. So, a familiar face.
Just a matter of 30 seconds or so now remaining. Weatherly. Good pass inside. Oh, delicate play there by Peter Lee Vassal. Lewis. Arnett scrambling the ball away through Johnson. Bennett, tremendous game. Vassal slides the ball forward.
What a pass.
Right across the goal area there from Bickford. And I think that's the game.
Why not put back the ball? Can't believe that Bickford would think that he would have scored from that angle. Or did the ball already go out of play? What a pass go by Peter Lee.
I think it may have gone out of play. So Odette Hamilton has seen enough. 90 minutes plus 1-1 between Harborview and Arnett Gardens. A battling effort here from this Harborview team. They went ahead through Bebeto McDonald on 40 minutes. And in the second half, Ranike Anderson getting the equalizer for Arnett Gardens and stretching their unbeaten run now to 5 games. So Harborview denied a victory here after taking the lead. And Arnett battling back to earn a point from this fixture. 1-1 the final score. McDonald for Harborview, Anderson for Arnett.
Yeah, good second half by Arnett Gardens. Went down to Harborview. Good recovery from Arnett Gardens. And a deserved draw at the end of things. We go to a break. We'll be back with more after this.
One bag of gold medal pan me now. Red stripe alone champion boy go. Pan a pour them a singing anthem. Red stripe, watch out, watch out, watch out. Man shall I be the forward boy. Red stripe Premier League champion boy score. Every goal when I run from boy. Red stripe Premier League champion boy now. Back down we run him marathon boy. The red stripe Premier League champion boy. Yeah, yo.
Welcome back here to the Harborview Mini Stadium. 1-1 at full time between Harborview and Arnett Gardens. McDonald in the 40th. And then Ranike Anderson after 74. Let's have a look at the full match highlights. And Arnett Gardens on the front foot in the first half. That opportunity to Sims. And just couldn't wrap his right foot around it enough. And they would continue to come forward. This needed a better touch there from Lennox Russell. Made his job harder, and from an acute angle just couldn't get the shot on target and wide of the post of Price. Again, Marvin Morgan in the middle of the field here, continuing to come forward. Arnett Gardens certainly had the better of the 18-yard action and should have scored. Fabian Reed from there at the edge of the 6-yard box. A man who scored 4 goals in 7 games this season should have been making the difference. This was the best of the chances before the goal for Harborview. And nice header by Alves. Well saved by Hyatt going to his right and made it look somewhat comfortable. And then this moment, a clearance downfield by Johnny Talbot and poor defending by McGregor. Bebeto McDonald, his first of the season, clinical finishing through the legs of Hyatt and made most of his opportunity. Well slotted, clinical finishing as we said, and his first of the season. That came after 40 minutes, and Harborview against the run of play with an important lead. They would go into the half with that lead, and the second half action, nice free kick there, and coming off the crossbar of Hyatt, unlucky, and that was from Nicholas Beckett. Just couldn't get down in time. And then this, the moment for Arnett Gardens at the back post. Big save by Price off the head of Malcolm. And who was at the back post? Ranike Anderson was, to make sure of it and draw them equal. That would come after 74 minutes. And our man of the match this evening, Ranike Anderson, in the right time, in the right place, at the right time. And that would be 1-1 after 74 minutes. And it could have been another goal here. Bebeto McDonald working hard, looking to come forward. And 2 bites at the cherry. And Ranike Anderson, as we said, in the right place at the right time at both ends of the park. Important defending. And the score remained 1-1. There we see it, 3 attempts. 3 shots on target from 8 attempts for Harborview. 3 on target as well for Arnett Gardens from 13 attempts. 38 fouls between the two. It was a rough and tough battle. And 4 offsides, 9 corners. Arnett Gardens, the guiltier, well, benefiting from 6 of those corners of the 9, and 51% possession for Harborview. 1-1 at full time. We go to Lance, who is on the infield with our MVP.
Thank you very much, Ranike Anderson. A robust game for you tonight. You are our man of the match. Congratulations on an outstanding performance tonight, not only defensively, but also getting in there with the equalizing goal. Talk to me about how you feel about your performance tonight.
I feel marvelous to find the equalizer for my team and to get the points that we needed.
You do have the knack on these set plays to pop up with goal-scoring opportunities, Ranike. Can you talk to me about your mindset when Arnett has these set plays and you find yourself into the 18-yard box trying to get yourself into a goal-scoring position?
It's something I used to know. I always find myself with the second ball in set play. So I just keep myself out of the bungle of the players, and then I finish it.
Talk to us about the mindset of Arnett Gardens. You went behind before the halftime break. You had to work hard to get back into the game. What was the halftime discussion like, and how did you feel trying to work yourself back into the game?
We didn't feel down now, because we know we have the firepower to come back. And we're just talking in the change room, so just keep the mindset, and we're coming out, come do the hard work.
Thank you very much, Ranike. Congratulations on the man of match honor.
Welcome.
Okay, that's Ranike Anderson, a former Tivoli player, transferred to Arnett Gardens a couple of seasons ago on the January transfer. So Arnett Gardens now undefeated against Harborview. We make it in 9 matches in a row. But a tough game tonight, Jerome Waite. We thought you would have won, but you had to battle back for a draw.
Well, it was really tough. We should have put away this game as early as the first half. I mean, 3 clear scoring opportunity. Maybe, you know, any other team create those chances against Arnett, you know, we'd have to pay the price. But we end up, you know, making an error in defense, resulting in Harborview getting that goal. But one thing the team have done today is show character. And you still have to give, you know, Ranike Anderson credit. He has done extremely well.
Yeah, and the next thing is your target tonight was to get a victory, to put yourself just within 1 point of the leaders, Portmore. It didn't happen for you. How disappointing is that?
Well, you will have to be disappointed, because goals are what, you know, win games, and today we fell short in that area.
All right, Jerome, thank you very much. The second round will start next week. Wish you the best of luck with Arnett Gardens this season. Twice champions in the past 4 years. I'm sure you're targeting a 3rd title in 5 years.
Yes, definitely. And it only can get better, you know. I mean, I'm back. So we have a lot of hard work to do moving forward in the second round.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, thanks.
Jerome Waite, he says he's back. He's been away for about a month because he had national duties, first with the national under-20s in the CONCACAF tournament in Florida, and then with the Jamaica team. Of course, Jamaica having a CONCACAF Nations League match against Suriname this past week, on Saturday, in fact, and he was a part of the coaching staff there. So he has been away from Arnett Gardens for a while. He's now back. Ricardo Bibi Gardner in charge of Harborview. A tough start to the season, as you had last year. But my word, Ricardo, we thought you had the win tonight, but then it didn't happen in the end.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, if we don't finish our chances off, it's going to be difficult. But it's always good to get a point from the game. I think we did enough to get our 3 points, but unfortunately, we are here happy getting a point from the game.
Yeah, the last 10 times that you've met Arnett Gardens, they have beaten you 8 times before this, or 9 times before this. So to avoid defeat here would be considered a plus, given your record against Arnett Gardens. But talk to me about the halftime thought that you would have had, because you went into the halftime break with the lead. What was the mindset for your team going into the second half?
Well, the mindset for the team is to go out there and win the second half. To play our type of game. I think Arnett was giving us enough space for us to put the ball down and move it around and be patient a little bit and try to pull them out and execute them with our wingers going forward. But unfortunately, it wasn't to be, and God's will, as I said before, I'm happy to get a point from the game.
You told me before the game, Ricardo, that you thought your team was beginning to improve, having avoided defeat in your last 2 matches, including a victory over a smart Cavalier team. Did that play itself out again tonight? Did you feel that looking at the team play tonight, they are playing better now than they were 4, 5, 6 weeks ago?
Yeah, I agree totally. I'm seeing improvement. We are growing. We just need to start believing a little bit more in ourselves and stick to our game plan, because we can play good football. So I would love to see we put the football down a little bit more and play the way that we can play and just go out there and be very expressive.
All right, thank you very much, Ricardo, and all the best for Harborview in the second round coming up.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Ricardo Gardner, coach there of the Harborview team, coming up with a result here, avoiding defeat against an Arnett Gardens team that has beaten them 9 times in the last 10 matches before the match tonight. So from that standpoint, Chris, and he said it just now, not too disappointed with the result, even though they appeared as if they were in a position that they could have won the game.
Yeah, certainly. And impressive second half, I think, especially from Arnett Gardens and so on, certainly coming to their own. I think when Morgan came in the middle of the park and so on, he certainly added something in terms of their forward movement. And Malcolm, the birthday boy, coming on, he certainly added some impetus up front for them as well.
Yeah, Ranike Anderson did explain to us that whenever Arnett has these set plays, he knows that he's very good with the second ball, and he's always alert to get himself in scoring positions, which he achieved again tonight.
And aware on both ends of the park, so that's good to see from his, I mean, obviously his main job to be defensively solid, which we saw him with the important interception at the end there from a Bebeto McDonald shot.
Yes.
But as you said, in the right place at the right time on the attacking end as well, so a good performance all around for him.
Yeah, and the final comment here on the review of the game, Jerome Waite, he was disappointed that he didn't get a victory, but he praised the fighting qualities of his team, because heading into the last 75 minutes, the last 15 minutes, they were trailing and facing defeat. So from his standpoint, although they didn't get the win that they went out for, he thought they showed good fighting qualities.
And I think he made some good changes as well. As we mentioned, Malcolm, the birthday boy, coming on, and some charges that up front added some impetus as well. I think moving Morgan, as we said, from the flank into the middle with his kind of touches and his quality within the middle of the park certainly made them more of an attacking force, Arnett Gardens, and put Harborview on the back foot.
Yeah, so Bebeto McDonald gives the Harborview team the lead. 5 minutes before the halftime break, Ranike Anderson with the equalizer. 1-1 is the final score. Manning Cup semi-finals on Sportsmax 2 starting Tuesday afternoon at 3:30, 4:30 Eastern Caribbean time. Kingston College up against St. Andrew Technical, and that will be followed by the 6 o'clock fixture between Jamaica College and St. George's College. Those are the Manning Cup semi-finals Tuesday.
Yeah, the Costa Cup action, of course, on Sportsmax 2 as well. Clarendon College against Dintil Technical live on Wednesday at 3:30 p.m., 4:30 ECT. And this will be semi-final 2 from Technical versus Cornwall College, the 2016 champions. The Costa Cup on Sportsmax 2 live Wednesday as well at 6 p.m., 7 ECT.
And after a weekend of international football and a league break from La Liga, Barcelona, the defending champions, will be up against Atletico Madrid. You check that out, Sportsmax 2, 2:45 in the afternoon. And Sevilla, they'll be up against Valladolid on Sunday, 10:15 a.m., 11:15 Eastern Caribbean time, also on Sportsmax 2.
Basketball fans, look out, NBA on Sportsmax, the Orlando Magic against LeBron James and the LA Lakers. And that comes on live on Sunday at 3:30 p.m., 4:30 ECT.
So it's been a riveting night of football here at the Harborview Mini Stadium, with a home team under pressure, 11th in the point standings and in the relegation zone, looking for a result tonight. They looked as if they may have achieved it. Bebeto McDonald on target on 40 minutes. But Ranike Anderson equalized for Arnett Gardens late in the game, the match ending 1-1. So Arnett Gardens and Harborview 1-1 on Red Stripe Football Mondays. That takes care of the action for tonight. Join us again next week when we'll be back.
Red Stripe, Premier League. I miss one bag of gold medal pan me now. Red Stripe alone champion boy go. Pan a pour them a singing anthem. Red Stripe, watcha. Ban shall I be the forward boy. Red Stripe Premier League champion boy score. Every goal when I run from boy. Red Stripe Premier League champion boy now. Pop down we run the marathon boy. The bush and never made the champion boy fan. Now man I don't a songsters boy. Red Stripe Premier League champion boy.